Hey everybody, MonkeyPuzzle here, and welcome to episode number 56 of Exploring Ragnarok. And just a quick prelude before I press play on this video is hopefully you haven't noticed, but I've been having some pops and crackles in my microphone track for a little while now, and it's been driving me nuts. I've been doing all kinds of things to try to eliminate it, and I think I finally nailed it. I got it fixed. But in the process, I had to unplug and replug and mess with a whole bunch of stuff. And I found out to my dismay that this particular video, I did not record the game audio. That's since fixed, of course, but I almost trashed this video because of that. But there was enough cool stuff in here I wanted to show you. I really kind of tell a little story in this thing that I decided to take a different approach. I cut it up and then I dug through all my royalty-free music. And so I kind of put it to a soundtrack to fill out the soundscape a little bit. And since I cut it up, I'm now going to narrate back over it and talk about things as they happen. So hopefully you enjoy it. And with no further ado, let's roll. So in episode 54, I was looking for a Calicotherium and a bunch of other tames. And I was out here in the Arctic a lot. And I got much more familiar with Ice Wyverns than I was previously, and I learned a lot of new nest sites, and I saw this level 190 female Ice Wyvern that's got the nicest colors that I'd seen yet on an Ice Wyvern, and I really wanted it, and I did not find a 190 egg in any of the nests, and it's all the way out here outside the world boundary, outside the Arctic, far away from the nest sites. And I thought, well, that's that. And I didn't know if there was actually like a direct relationship between them being near the nests or not. But Emma Rimtuss on the server, she told me that she actually lured it back. And after getting it to hang out by nest sites for a while, she actually got the 190 egg. So you get the ice cube up here a lot. There is a lot of murder snow locations, so you got to have really good fur gear. I've also got an otter on me, and I get the torch on my hotbar in case I really need that too. And then proceed to try to lure this thing to where the nest locations are. And first thing I find out here is that once it's got its attention on other creatures, it's really hard to get its attention back. So I start being pretty bold and getting pretty close to it, and I find that a lot of times I'm just going to have to wait it out. Trying again, I attempt to actually attack it and see if that will get its attention, and it gets me back with its ice breath, which slows you down for 10 seconds. And that's a pretty vulnerable time. It's pretty scary, and it's the biggest power this thing has. I mean, it's got a really hard bite, but during that time, you just can't get away from it, no matter how fast your mount is. So I'm still not successful in getting its attention, so I'm going to wait it out again. Now here is a while later, and it has killed pretty much everything. I helped clean up the mess, and I finally get its attention, for better or for worse. So there's a real art to kiting it, because you gotta stay close enough to keep its attention, but too close, you get hit by that breath. That may be it, and you may not be able to break free after that. So I use the terrain and a lot of griffin dives, and successfully at this point managed to get it. There's a nest location right there that I'm flying over at this point, so that would be a decent place for it to hang out. I lose it for a second, and it's down there at the bottom of the cliff. So I think it's far enough away. I hit the tree for a second, and whoa, it's right there. And it's got me with its breath. So this is a critical moment here, if I can get away. And yes, I do. I break free, and hopefully it's not still on me. So let's take a look and see where it's at. Oh, it's still there. Oh no. So, but I have got it where I want it, or at least in the general vicinity. I don't know how close it has to be to the nests. And in the episode 54, I found more nest locations than I had previously known about. I know for sure where 4 of them are. Supposedly there are 5. So if I can just keep it near them all or in between them all, I should be good. So I think it's in a good spot now, and I take a moment to just hang out and keep an eye on it. Now, a while later, I find out that it keeps getting stuck in this particular spot. And there's Armies that get stuck there too, and it keeps wanting to move towards that area outside the world boundary if it's not stuck in that little trough there. So it's happened again, and now it's attacking the Armies that get stuck in that spot. So I've got to get it out of there. So I find that just hanging out near it is not always that good. And we got a little chase going on again. Let's see if I make out all right. It's still after me. If there's nothing else around, it actually can stay on you from quite a distance, I'm learning. And it can come up pretty quick. It's deceivingly fast, even though it seems like it's moving pretty slow. But in K mode here, I find that I can sprint just fast enough to stay just far enough ahead of it, even though that was pretty close. Woo! So right to my left here, there's another nest location right over to the left of where I'm at now. So this is another good spot to keep it in. And high altitude is a good way to keep an eye on it. So this is another good spot. Hopefully it'll stick around here for a little longer. We got a little deeper into the Arctic zone. And I'm going to go hang out and see if I can just watch it from a distance while it messes around. So it's progressed back towards the world border again, and oh, it's found me. I was getting a little too confident, thinking its attention was on that creature, but no, it's on me, and I am stuck in the ice breath. So this is definitely my scariest moment so far, and it's yet to be seen if I'm going to break free. There's a bunch of wolves also trying to take advantage of my situation. It's got me on the ground, and it gets pretty scary. Every time it hits you, it renews. Which I think is a little unfair, but there's nothing I can do about that at the moment. See, it's got it again. It seems like the timer should have to run out before it could renew it again, but that's not how it works. Every time it hits you, you are slowed. So, woo! I have broken free, bam, into a mammoth. Again, I'm free. So hopefully I can get out of here, dive, and bam, into a rhino. But I'm clear at this point, and I've taken a significant amount of damage. So I gotta go chill out and spend a little time healing. So time to eat some of that mammoth and rhino that I've been helping it clear out, and then re-engage once I've got my health back. So this is much later after a whole bunch of kiting, and it is again outside the world border, and I'm trying to get it back out. It just still has its attention focused on rhinos and mammoths that are working their way out to the desert. I find that actually I can tail it like this. I'm getting pretty bold from trying to do this so much now. And if I stay right behind it, it can't get me. And I'm hoping that eventually that'll anger it enough that it will put its attention back on me. Also trying to help it finish off those beasts quickly so that I don't spend too long trying to do this. All right, that's the last thing it was focused on. And now I'm the focus again. And it's got me. It doesn't waste any time once it's on you. So the lesson learned there is you got to break free right away, clear out all its targets. And it's really after me here. Managed to get away again that time. I'm at half health. So time to go heal again. Over here, I'm minding my business, eating steak, and whoa, it comes up on me while I'm in my inventory. And I'm just gonna let this one play out for a minute. And this is where I realized that I might actually lose this griffin. This is my favorite griffin. This was my first 150. I've done so much on this thing, and I don't see any way out of this at this point. I'm down to the bottom of my health, continuing to renew the freeze. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's a pretty desperate moment. So I jump off of my griffin, hoping that if I parachute off, its attention will be on me and not on the griffin, and give it a chance to get unfrozen. You can see my otter there. I'm at risk of losing him too. And the griffin, so brave, thinks that it's gonna attack even with no health. Whistle passive and come up and punch the wyvern. Come after me. I'm the one you want. But no, that's going to be the end of the griffin. So in one last ditch attempt, I jump on it and see if the freeze is gone. It's not. So this has to be it. It's renewed yet again. Can't even see any health on its health bar cross. So, but wait, I'm free with no health. I am free. Look at the state of my griffin. So still remains if I can get completely away. And I'm just going for it, not looking back, taking every dive I can to put some distance between me and that thing, because I had hope beyond all hope. And the griffin's still alive. If you look back though, it looks like it still may be targeting me. So I figure if it's still targeting me while I have some stamina, I might as well lure it back in the direction I want. But I'm not going to engage it. I'm just trying to get away. And it's basically between its targeting, and my stamina right now. If I'm going to have enough stamina to get away. Stamina is still looking pretty good. Getting off and letting it sit on the ground for a minute may have been a good thing, because that definitely recharged the stamina. I might have run out by this point. So seems like I'm free and clear at this point. So I just have to find a safe place to land and heal up. And anything that happens down there, any Microraptor or Troodon or whatever, could kill it at this point. So, but I feel nothing but relief at this point, because I thought that was it. If you watch that closely, there was like really no way to expect that I could have got away from that with the griffin at least. But I did. So happy for that. The griffin lives, but we still have to finish the mission of getting it back to the spawning locations. But for now, the one mission is to get this griffin back to safety. I do indulge for a moment and take a moment to just get a screenshot, because I don't think this thing will ever be this injured without dying again. So there it is. Proud and noble griffin. Deserves a name at this point, so deal with that in a second. But first, let's get it healed up and get out of here. So I'm back with a fresh griffin. This is the 145. I'm not going to risk that 150 again at this point. And it's time to see if that wyvern is still around. I know they're probably actually called wyverns, but some people call them wyverns. I like wyvern better, so that's what I'm sticking with for this video. And there it is. It hasn't despawned. It's still around, so time to try this again and see if I can actually learn from that almost tragic mistake and actually kite it to the nest zone. So the two things I'm trying to find out here, well, three. First is just how to kite a wyvern, apparently. Two is what it takes to get them to spawn an egg in a nest location. And three is if you can do that, if you inherit the same level and the same colors. So I guess that's four things. And this may be common knowledge for folks already, but this is all new to me. So rather than look it up in the wikis and stuff like that, I'm just learning by doing and having a great adventure in the meantime too. So doing better kiting it now, staying just far away, but keeping its attention. It's definitely on me. Got to get it through the border, back into the Arctic. Let's see how far I can get it in there. I want to get it to some place where I can get it stuck and keep it there long enough to actually get an egg. And in between, when I came back with this guy, I did check all the egg locations, and they were all empty so far. So right in here, there's another egg location, a nest location. So I'm going to try to get it caught up in there and see if that works. And you know, once I do this, I have a realization that so far I've been trying to hang out and babysit it. But at this point, I actually just take off. I go back to Monkeyheim, I leave it out of render, and see if that works. So back again about an hour later, I'm going to go see if it's around and check and see if it actually has spawned an egg in the nest. So this location is pretty easy to find if you just go up through this little cleft in that cliff there and check it out. There is a nest and there is an egg in it. So let's see what we got if it's actually the egg from that wyvern. And it is. It's a 190. Did it. So it does work. And the best method was just leaving. So all that time I was hanging out trying to babysit it was actually counterproductive because it just keeps moving, it keeps leaving the location, can attack you, gets its attention focused on other things. So at this point, I'm just thrilled that I didn't lose my griffin and I've got the 190 egg. I take a quick moment to kind of cruise by some of the other nest locations to see if there happen to be any other nests that have spawned. There is the wyvern. It's hanging out, harassing beasts. So I get its attention one last time, lure it again towards that spot where we just got the egg, and then I'm gonna just take off, take this egg home before anything else happens. And don't want to take a risk after all that, all those other risks. So we're going home with the egg. Whoosh. So the good old 150 Griffin, all healed up, deserves a name. So it came to the Brink over there, so I'm going to name it Brink, which is also a reference to Brink the Gamer, who was the owner of one of the first multiplayer servers that I was ever a part of as a YouTuber. So time to go to the Highlands and get some wyvern milk, but on the way I see this 140 Quetzal. It's a pretty high level, and not much further out I see a 145. So that's a male and a female, which would be a great mating pair, almost at max level. So later on I do go back and try to tame those, but it turns out with their current AI, when they go into flee mode, they always go headfirst into the same cliff where they get stuck and eaten by direwolves. So that was not to be. Anyway, over in the Highlands, I've spotted a level 45 female poison wyvern, and time to lure it into the trap and see if I can knock it out and get its milk. It lost its attention. I have to go back and see if I can reclaim it. It's definitely on me now, so hopefully this last part goes smoothly. And I've got it in the trap. Excellent. So I'm going to leave my griffin to keep its attention, and time to go to the pin pad and shut the door. And I forgot to put gas in the generator. No. So time to do it the manual way. And again, I got a brave griffin that thinks it's going to attack that thing, but no, you come back over here. You're on passive. Let's see if I can just go and shut the door. Whew. Okay. So we have female poison wyvern. So just got to knock it out and get that milk. So technically at this point, I could do it without the milk, especially with the nanny. I could imprint it that way. Our taming or maturation actually is high enough that you don't have to feed it, but I want to really earn this 190, so I want to do it the right way. So I'm going to go through the full process of the milk and the actual manual imprinting so that I've fully earned that wyvern. Got this one down, no problem. I did it with shock darts. It only took 3 or 4. Got 5 milk. And one thing, and when I did this in the previous video, is folks said you couldn't do them in a fridge, but it does work in the S Plus fridge. So good thing to know. And if you put the salt, it does double the time. And of course it helps if you put gas in the generator, which it happens I did have some. So it looks like it's 2 days without the salt and 4 days with it. So that's a good amount of time. Anyway, back at Monkeyheim, time to drop this egg and hatch it. So there it is, the 190 egg. Now we've got to see if we get the same colors of the other one. And there it is. And it is. There is that same wyvern back in miniature form. Level 190. It's got the colors. So in Rimtuss's comment, who told me that I could do this, she said it looked like a fairy. So I'm going to name it Fairy. I adjust the spelling a little later to make it the more archaic spelling, but there it is. So I raise it up, I feed it wyvern milk by hand, I create that bond between me and my wyvern and get it fully imprinted. I'm gonna raise it all the way up. In the meantime, just to show you too, during all that other scouting I've been doing in the Arctic, I found these 2 150 rhinos dancing in unison there as they mate. And I breed them and get this cute little baby rhino from them too. So just had to show you that. And that brings us back to the present. And I got my game sounds back. And there is Fairy. She's such a beautiful, powerful ice wyvern. So the big takeaway from that was that you can get the ice wyvern you want if you see it flying around out there. You just got to get it by those nests, the level transfers, and the color transfers, something that I did not know before. It may have been common knowledge for some of you all, but it was definitely new to me. So that was a really cool way to learn that. And let's check her out. She's all grown up. And these are her starting levels. I haven't leveled anything up yet. She starts with 9,400 health. 715 stamina, and 768 weight, 379 melee, and of course movement does not level up anymore. So the first thing, of course, would be to give her enough stamina. Every time something's this close to 10,000, you got to get it at least up to 10,000, and never can have enough health. And you want enough stamina to make it across the island, or at least pretty far. So put a good amount of it there. If I could get that up to 2,000, and then we'll put some into melee and some into weight. We'll put the rest in the melee, and she's got more levels coming too. So that's very cool. There is Fairy. So let's go take a ride and sign out. Yeah, she's so beautiful. I just love those colors. And while I had some milk, I don't know if you noticed, but I went ahead and I hatched that other 145 egg that I've been having in my fridge for a very long time. Same as the other wyvern I've been using. Got its head in the ground, and you can see the difference. It's got nice blues, but it does not have the same coloring as Fairy does. But now I've got 3 ice wyverns. All my wyverns are the wyverns that are unique to Ragnarok, so that's pretty cool. I could go around and fight some stuff and all that, but you know how that goes. Oh yeah. Gonna ice you all. Keep you in your seats for the rest of the video, except that it's over. So thank you for watching until the end of this one. I hope you liked the format of this one. I definitely wanted to show you the near deaths and the whole adventure that I had to get her, rather than just showing up in the next episode and going, hey, here's an ice wyvern. So again, thank you for watching until the end of this one, and I will see you in the next one. Oh yeah. Bye-bye.